Number 10. Wasabi. Hubert is a French policeman with very sharp methods. After being forced to take 2 months off by his boss, who doesn't share his view on working methods, he goes back to Japan, where he used to work 19 years ago, to settle the probate of his girlfriend who left him shortly after marriage, without a trace. There, he meets his former colleague Momo and his daughter Yumi, who he did not know was ever born. Hubert eventually finds out why his girlfriend left him, and the reason becomes his and his new daughter's problem. Number 9. 22 Bullets. Charlie Mattei has turned a new leaf on his past as an outlaw. For the past 3 years, he's been living a comfortable life and devoting himself to his wife and 2 kids. However, one winter morning, he's left for dead in the underground parking garage of Marseille's Old Port with 22 bullets in his body. Against all odds, he will not die. Number 8. The Crimson Rivers. Parisian murder detective Commissioner Pierre Niemans is called to Gernon, a self-sufficient, prestigious university in a mountain valley, to investigate the murder on 32-year-old professor and librarian Armai Kalawa, whose corpse was found 50 meters high on a steep mountainside, naked, horribly covered in bruises and bleeding wounds, the result of some 5 hours of bestial torture, including quasi-surgical amputation of hands cauterized to prevent bleeding to death and eyes. Gernon is a closed society of virtually incestuous scientists, de facto succeeding to their parents' posts. The eye doctor, formerly on the staff, says hereditary genetic diseases are the price of such elitism, but in recent years spread to the simple farming families. Inspector Max Kerkerian examines 2 crimes in the town: a school break-in with theft of old photos and archive papers, as well as a graveyard desecration of Judith Herald, the daughter of local nun Anderi, who lives in a dark cell since 15 years, and mumbles, "The demons who made an attempt of both of their lives have returned to prevent the child endanger their secret." As both police investigations continue, the loner sleuths meet, secrets and other corpses are found, till it all ties together. Number 7. The Roundup. 1942. Joseph is 11, and this June morning, he must go to school, a yellow star sewn on his chest. He receives the support of a goods dealer, the mockery of a baker. Between kindness and contempt, Joe, his Jewish friends, their families, learn of life in an occupied Paris, on the Butte Montmartre, where they've taken shelter. At least that's what they think, until that morning on July 16, 1942, when their fragile happiness is toppled over. From the Vélodrome d'Hiver, 13,000 Jews are crammed to the camp of Bonne-la-Rolande. From Vichy to the terrace of the Berghof, La Rafale follows the real destinies of the victims and the executioners, of those who orchestrated it all, those who trusted them, of those who fled, of those who opposed them. Every character in this film has existed. Every event, even the most extreme, transpired on that summer of 1942. Number 6. The Visitors. A medieval nobleman and his squire are accidentally transported to contemporary times by a senile sorcerer. He enlists the aid of his descendant to try to find a way to return home, all the while trying to cope with the cultural and technological changes distinguishing his time from ours. Number 5. Roseanna's grave. Roseanna is dying of a heart condition, and all she wants is to be buried next to her daughter, in a cemetery that is getting full fast. The cemetery can't expand because Capestro, the man who owns the land next to the cemetery, won't sell, while Marcello is doing good deeds to make sure no one dies. Roseanna thinks of Marcello's future. Number 4. Ruby and Quentin. After hiding his loot and getting thrown in jail, Ruby, a brooding outlaw, encounters Quentin, a dim-witted and garrulous giant who befriends him. After Quentin botches Rooney's solo escape attempt, they make a break together. Unable to shake the clumsy Quentin, Ruby is forced to take him along as he pursues his former partners in crime to avenge the death of the woman he loved and get to the money before they do. Number 3. Ronin. Ronin is the Japanese word used for samurai without a master. In this case, the Ronin are outcast specialists of every kind, whose services are available to everyone for money. Deer hires several Ronin to form a team in order to retrieve an important suitcase from a man who is about to sell it to the Russians. After the mission has been completed successfully, The suitcase immediately gets switched by a member of the team who seems to work into his own pocket. The complex net of everyone tricking everyone begins to surface slowly and deadly. Number 2, The Big Blue. Enzo and Jacques have known each other for a long time. Their friendship started in their childhood days in the Mediterranean. They were not real friends in these days, but there was something they both loved and used to do the whole day long: diving. One day, Jacques' father, who was a diver too, died in the Mediterranean Sea. After that incident, Enzo and Jacques lost contact. After several years, Enzo and Jacques had grown up. Johanna, a young clerk in an insurance office, has to go to Peru. There she meets Jacques, who is being studied by a group of scientists. He dives for some minutes into ice-cold water, and the scientists monitor his physical state that is more like a dolphin than human. Johanna cannot believe what she sees and gets very interested in Jacques, but she's unable to get acquainted with him. Some weeks later, back in her office, she finds out that Jacques will be competing in a diving championship that takes place in Taormina, Sicily. In order to see Jacques again, she makes up a story, so the firm sends her to Italy for business purposes. In Taormina, there is also Enzo, the reigning diving world champion. He knows that only Jacques can challenge and probably beat him. This time, Johanna and Jacques get closer, but Jacques, being more a dolphin than man, cannot really commit, and his rivalry with Enzo pushes both men into dangerous territory. Number 1, Léon, the professional. After her father, stepmother, stepsister, and little brother are killed by her father's employers, the 12-year-old daughter of an abject drug dealer manages to take refuge in the apartment of a professional hitman, who, at her request, teaches her the methods of his job, so she can take her revenge on the corrupt D agent who ruined her life by killing her beloved brother.